Hey there, it's Barb in the garden, but it's not my garden. I'm here at the entrance of the Biltmore Estate, and I just thought I'd walk around a little bit to kind of share with you what's going on in the early spring. So many people don't think anything's going on until they see the big blooms happening everywhere, but that's not true. So I thought we'd just take a little meandering around here, alrighty, and see what we see. And, well, wait a minute, right here. All in these leaves, I'm gonna get down on the ground so you can see them. All on these leaves here. All these dead leaves, look at all these leaves, right? Oh, but what's in there? Oh, I'm gonna show you. There you go. Bunch of daffodils, see? Oh, daffodils. Oh, I love me a daffodil. Now, I tell you, some people, I'm crawling now, I'm crawling. Some folks have a hard time in the wintertime, and they need that sunlight to get the melatonin, I think, I don't know. But anyway, they have a hard time, they can get depressed, or it's just a season in your life where you're struggling and you're in great grief or sadness and don't feel hope. I've had those seasons in my life, and it's hard to grasp onto that simple word hope that sometimes feels unattainable. Because hope can be discouraging if you've been let down so much. But anyway, here's a way to kind of help renew the soul a little bit in the early spring. I like to look for buds happening. So right here we have an azalea. You see that? And you go, oh, it's just an azalea, it's not blooming. Well, it's at work right now. Let me show you what's going on. Now, you're gonna have to try to look with me, because you know I don't have any camera crew, or I'm no photographer. You all know that, if you know me yet. See, in these leaves right here, I'm gonna tilt it. See that little baby right there? It's almost in a pear shape. See that? Let me see if I can find another one. Here's one right here that you might be able to see. Oh, come here, baby. Come to show my friends here. Oop, 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 oop. Can you see that little one right there? See? See, and they're just all like, they're a lime green, and they're getting all that energy they need in the beautiful sunlight and the warmer air so that they can bloom. Now, I love this time of year. I love it because you think, oh, what's gonna happen next? Well, usually in January, at least in Asheville, North Carolina, we live in about the zone 6. It can be a 6.5. Some places it can even be a 7 in pockets where there's open sun all the time. And of course, with things warming up all the time, you know, heaven's sakes, there can be more 7s than I realize right now, because I saw a banana tree growing where I never expected it to grow, and it made it through the winter. Anyway, so azaleas, you just saw the buds there, but we're gonna look for some other buds too. And it's kind of fun. Once you get a child or a teenager, kind of like, you know, the apathetic teenager, no, life is boring, I'm bored. I always say, if you're bored, you're boring. Anyway, and help them kind of get their heart and their mind and their curiosity back to life. So let's walk around a little more. Here's a beautiful, oh, there's some beautiful trees here. There's a big old white pine. So what had happened was, back in the turn of the century, well, no, in the 1800s, 1890s, 1895, and into the 1900s, George Vanderbilt bought this property, and he actually bought more of it than what we see, but here now. But it was all overburned, overlogged, you know, it was kind of desolate. And it was kind of like that all over the country, really. And he hired a man named Carl Schenck from Germany, and he came and helped with the forestry of the land, and started Cradle of Forestry. You can see that down in Davidson River, down here in the south of me, not too far away. It's kind of cool to go over there. Well, it's very cool. I love Pisgah Forest. And I diverge. Anyway, Carl Schenck and George Vanderbilt wanted a lot of lushness and greenness right away, you know, kind of like, you know, and that's a little tricky to ask plants to grow right away, but there are some that do, especially from other countries. So they brought in other plants too, and he had Pinchot, he had quite a few different people working with him, and I don't remember everything. You'll have to look it up in a nice book or something about Biltmore Estate. And the Biltmore Estate has great books about the history here. But so here's our good friend ivy, right? Yeah, they planted ivy on the sides of the roads to have that lushness growing so quickly, and even kudzu they brought over. But they thought it would help. Same with the polamentosa. I don't know if you've heard of that word. Polamentosa. God, it's been years. But it's a princess tree or an empress tree from Japan, and they planted those everywhere. And they have purple blooms hanging. You'll see them on the sides of the roads, and some people think it's I forgot the name, but but it's not. It's an empress princess tree, and their blooms grow straight up, but it kind of looks like the other thing that I can't think of. See, this is not a big National Geographic here, is it? But anyway, let's take a little gander over here. I see something in the corner of my eye that I want to show you. So, in January, and at least around our area, you know, first in January, the hellebores or the Lenten roses come up. And there's a little color, and oh, I just love to have those. And if there's one here, I'll show it to you. If not, I'll try to show you one in my garden. And then the crocuses come up. Yeah. And then the daffodils come up, or the narcissus, depending on what you call them. And, you know, there's early blooming, mid-blooming, late-blooming narcissus daffodils. And then the tulips come. Tulips here come usually right in mid-April. It's almost a guarantee, no matter what happens with the weather. And I just see a big truck coming by. And then after the tulips, and we have early blooming, mid-blooming, and late-blooming tulips. And then comes the azaleas bloom, yeah. And then after the azaleas go down, then the roses all come, yeah. And then the rhododendrons, yeah. And then we go on and on and on and on. And then there's just a plethora of perennials blooming everywhere, and it's just summertime. Summertime. Oh, goodness. Barbara, back to the gardening. All right, so right here is one of my faves, is the peony. And some people call them peonies. In different countries, everybody calls things differently, you know. Tomato, tomato, potato, potato. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong. Just, you know, be flexible. I always used to say, be like a willow tree. Have your roots planted deep, but be willing to sway. I used to say that to my staff, working with children. Alrighty, so let's get down here. I'm gonna try to show you, and I won't be here too much longer, but let's see if you can see these. Oh, can you see those? Can you see them? Oh, these sprouts, they're so cool looking. They're red and green. Yes. And they're so cool. And then they start to unfurl. Yeah, see them unfurling right there? Yeah. Oh, see that right there? Oh, they're so cool looking. They almost look like a weird asparagus or something. Oh, and then right by me and early on, as phlox, which you probably all know about phlox. Now that's a great secret for your garden, or on a wall to hang over. You want something to hang over on a wall or on a slope. When you see big masses of color, sometimes, often it's phlox in the spring. And our phlox isn't in full bloom yet. It's got a little ways to go. But let me just show it to you, because you'll see this beautiful flower. Oh, I love flowers. I don't know, I just do. But let me see if I can get my hand on one that you can see. See these purple? These are purple. This is my favorite color, actually. These little, let me see if I can show you. Can you see those little babies? And what's funny is that you gotta watch out in these stores. Like, they'll sell you ivy, and it grows like crazy. You don't need buy a lot of it. It's gonna grow. Same with phlox. Now this is a big, I don't know if you can see it here, a big mass of phlox over here. Can you see that? I don't know if you can or not. Well, that phlox, I tell you, I have a bigger mass than that at my house. And I started it with just one little thing. It was like about this big, that a friend gave me from her yard. It was just this much, honest to goodness. I mean, it was no more than 2-3 inches. And it's a mass. Now it takes some time, but if you don't have money, that's how you have a beautiful garden. If you have money, then you just go for it and then share all your extras when they become abundant. But don't throw them away, folks. So many people would love them. Just stick them in the yard and put a free sign, and people would love to have plants. What else? Oh, I see, well, hyacinths. Oh yeah, I love me a hyacinth. Now these ones aren't as full and rich. Sometimes you get the big-bodied hyacinth. And they come up around daffodil season, sometimes before, kind of after the crocuses. I don't know if you can see them. Let me see if I can get in here. I'm gonna be kissing you soon. Okay, let me see if you can see them now. Wouldn't it be nice if we, there they are. Oh, here's a little one coming up right over here. Like peeking through there, yeah. Oh, they're pretty and they're fragrant. Ooh, love me a hyacinth. So there we have that. Sometime I'll take a walk at the botanical gardens down by University of North Carolina in Asheville and show you the wildflowers coming up. Here's a fun thing to plant. Liriope, now you have green liriope, but this is a black liriope. And people don't use that very often. Can you see that? You can hear that. I don't know if you can see it. You're getting the pole. Oh, hello. Oh, goodness. I don't know if you can see them. See, yeah, there you go. See those? They're really kind of cool looking against like a lime green color or something like that. Oh, goodness. Action in the pack. Things are happening. Probably somebody's in need. I don't know about you, but whenever I see a ambulance go by or a fire truck, I kind of put a little wish or a prayer in. I like to think of a wish as a kind of a prayer, just from a different culture. So whether you wish the people well or you give them a prayer, a deep-hearted prayer, because something's happening, even if it's the people that are trying to help and the person is okay, it takes a lot out of us when we're trying to help somebody in crisis. So it's okay to give them a wish whenever I see one. One time I saw, I'm diverging now. One time I was walking and I was just sitting in my car staring. I was eating something, of course, and just letting myself relax, staring out at some mountains and some trees. And this man walked by, and I heard the sirens going, and this man, old man, he could hardly walk. He just stopped, stoic in the road, and he just bowed his head down and prayed. It was the most beautiful thing. And when the ambulance passed him and the fire truck passed him, he stopped again. And it was so beautiful. And he did stop and really think about what was happening. Sometimes we just go, oh, we hope they're okay, which is beautiful. But sometimes, just to giving a more even earnest thought about what's really happening. And I'm sorry for the noise, but we can't schedule these things. And I'm not about to splice and dice this puppy. Okay, here we go. This is something I really wanted you to see. This is a rhododendron. And, oh, I love me a rhododendron. Let me show you. Now, I talked about the rhododendrons blooming kind of near the end of May. See that bud? Aren't they beautiful? Let me show you that bud. Isn't it beautiful? Oh, come here, buddy, buddy, buddy. Buddy boy, buddy boy. The cool thing about rhododendrons that I think of, I like to compare nature with a person's life and everything. But what's so cool is that a rhododendron, when it's cold and harsh weather and it's nasty out, their leaves, look at these beautiful leaves here. See how rich and thick they are? But they'll curl up like really tight, they'll just curl up. And it's kind of like how we do, when we're around crisis or someone's being mean to us or just you feel fear, you tighten up. I had a friend when I met her. She walked around like this all the time, and I thought, boy, there's been some trauma in that woman's life. Of course, her shoulders are down now. But anyway, and then she had, but sometimes we hold it in our face, some people just, and it may not even mean that they're angry. It could be that just something happened past and they got a habit going on, So let me see if I see anything else, and I might start to tie this up because I don't want to talk forever, and you know how I love talking. I'm going to walk over here just to show you the daffs over here and the tulips and what people did. Because a lot of people just think, I'm going to spread everything around the garden, which I'm kind of a believer in that too, especially when you don't have a lot of, mucho. But if what they say is that if you plant things in mass, oh, here's something I can show you. If you plant things in mass, then they'll have a bigger hit. So you might just do 2 big masses of something or 1 big mass of something instead of things sparkled all around. So I'm trying to decide where I'm going to go. Here, let's go over here. I know this light isn't great. I'm going to show you 2 more things, and then we're going to say adios. Well, oh, I see another thing I'm going to show you. Okay, so right here, this is a good example. When you plant your daffodils, don't be afraid to plant tulips right next to them, because remember, they're going to bloom a little later. But this is really pretty because they probably have a late blooming daff and early blooming tulips right here. So they have their beautiful daffodil. And then look at here. And look at down here. Now those are short little tulips. Did I miss it? Did you miss it? Let me find this little puppy for you. Find my hand. Go over. Yeah, right over there. I don't know if you could see that very well. But so they made a cluster. So there was like 3 daffs and, oh gosh, there's probably more than that. I see there 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 tulips and 3 or 4 daffs, all in just like a 5-inch circle, you know. Now, here's another thing. Another little trick of the trade is when you plant things in mass, you know, Johnny jump ups or pansies. I don't know where that sun is, but I know I'm not supposed to be. Here you go. There. Am I supposed to be that way? Ah, I never took photography. You can tell, can't you? But look over here. See all those? Let me see if you can see them. See that big masses of them behind me? Yeah, pretty, aren't they? Because they did a big mass of them instead of just one here, one here, one there. It's hard to get used to that idea, but once you do it every once in a while, you'll go, whoa, whoa. All right, one last thing is red twig dogwood right here. Just what's fun about a red twig dogwood, can you see that little baby in the garden, is it just gives a different another texture. It gives the branches that are nice and red, and it's not a tree, it's a shrub. So you have, I don't know, I'm gonna try to show you this picture and then I'm gonna walk, we're gonna close up here. It's getting awfully sunny here. You can see me squinting. I'm not mad. But let me see if I can show you, yeah. Can you see all that down there? Ah, beauty, beauty, beauty everywhere. See, it's just beautiful. Well, I hope you could see it. Let me go over here and just say goodbye to you. But those are just a few little tips of the trade and little things. I just like talking off the top of my head. I'm too old to be having to work too hard. Maybe I'm not, but I don't want to work too hard anymore. I worked so hard. I'm a little tired. So let me tell you, we talked about a lot of different things today, but just remembering that spring is full of secrets of beauty just right in front of your eyes. So don't be afraid to take a deeper look and a closer look. So when you're losing hope, just try to take another look into the beauty that's all around you, all right? Well, listen, you take good care of yourselves and have a great and happy spring. Bye-bye now.